Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village surrounded by green hills and flowing rivers, there lived a young woman named Emma. Emma was 28 years old, cheerful by nature, and had a great passion for baking. From a very young age, she loved creating cakes, pastries, and bread in her small kitchen. The smell of fresh bread and sweet pastries always brought her joy. Baking was not just a hobby for her, it was a form of expression, a way to share happiness with others. Her family and close friends always praised her talent, often encouraging her to open her own bakery someday. However, deep inside, Emma carried a heavy cloud of doubt. Despite her skills, she constantly thought, "What if I'm not good enough? What if people don't like my baking? What if I fail?" These questions haunted her mind every day, keeping her from taking the first step toward her dream. Emma worked as a teacher in the village's small school. She loved teaching children, and her students adored her gentle smile and caring nature. But every day after work, she would retreat into her tiny kitchen, baking alone, afraid to share her creations with the world outside. She believed that the world of business, especially opening a bakery, was too competitive and that only those with big capital and fancy equipment could succeed. Her mind was full of what-ifs that chained her to the comfort of her small home. Emma wanted to be brave, to open a bakery and serve people, but the fear of failing held her back. One cold winter evening, while reading a book on personal growth, Emma came across a story about a man who overcame fear by simply starting small. The message struck her deeply. Great journeys begin with small steps. Inspired, Emma decided to change her thinking. Instead of focusing on all the things that could go wrong, she thought, "What's the smallest step I can take today toward my dream?" Her answer was simple but powerful. Share one of her cakes with a neighbor. The next morning, Emma carefully prepared her most beautiful chocolate cake. She decorated it with love, added a few fresh strawberries on top, and placed it in a clean box. Her hands trembled as she walked to her neighbor's house, a kind, elderly woman named Mrs. Harper, who lived just 2 houses away. Emma rang the doorbell and offered the cake with a shy smile, saying, "I baked this and I thought you might like to try it." Mrs. Harper opened the door, surprised but delighted, and accepted the cake warmly. "Thank you, dear," she said with a bright smile, taking a bite. "This is absolutely delicious. You have a true gift." Emma's heart swelled with happiness. For the first time, someone outside her small circle appreciated her work. That small step changed everything. Emma realized that people didn't expect perfection. They appreciated the effort, the passion, and the joy she put into baking. Encouraged by this experience, she began sharing more of her baked goods with neighbors and friends. Each time, her confidence grew. She started asking for honest feedback, learning to accept both compliments and constructive criticism gracefully. Slowly, her mindset began to shift from "what if I fail" to "what can I learn from this experience?" Months passed, and the positive responses from her community kept Emma motivated. She saved some money, planning carefully, and rented a small, humble space in the village's market area. She named her bakery the Courageous Oven, symbolizing her journey of bravery. The first day the bakery opened, Emma was nervous beyond words. She set up her freshly baked goods, cakes, cookies, bread, and pastries on simple wooden shelves. The sign above the door was hand-painted with cheerful colors. She stood behind the counter, her hands slightly shaking, as a few curious villagers stepped in. Her first customer was a young mother with 2 small children. The mother looked at the display and asked for a loaf of bread. Emma served her with a gentle smile. The mother took a bite and smiled and said, "This bread is so soft and delicious. You must be very talented." Emma's heart fell. A wave of relief and pride washed over her. Each small interaction gave her more courage to continue. Word of mouth began to spread. People from nearby villages started visiting the Courageous Oven to taste Emma's baked goods. But the journey was not without challenges. Some days, very few customers came. Sometimes ingredients ran out. Other times, an important order was delayed or went wrong. On those difficult days, self-doubt crept back into Emma's mind. She would think, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I should just give up and return to teaching. Yet every time these thoughts appeared, Emma reminded herself of her small victory, the day she gave a cake to Mrs. Harper. She remembered how a simple step led to a greater path. She told herself, courage is not the absence of fear. It is taking action despite the fear. Emma started learning more about running a small business. She attended online workshops, read books on entrepreneurship, and connected with other local business owners. Gradually, her skills improved, not just in baking, but in managing orders, budgeting, and customer service. She became a confident entrepreneur. Her positive attitude inspired others in the village to follow their dreams as well. One afternoon, a famous food blogger visited the Courageous Oven. She wrote a glowing review about Emma's bakery, highlighting the homemade charm and warm atmosphere. The review went viral online, and suddenly, Emma's small bakery gained national attention. Orders started pouring in, and people came from far away to taste her special pastries. But more than success, Emma valued the lesson she had learned. Courage begins with believing in yourself, starting small, and persisting every day. Today, the Courageous Oven is a place not just to enjoy delicious treats, but to experience the story of bravery and self-belief. Emma stands as an example for everyone who feels trapped by fear, teaching us that every small step matters. She often says to her customers, "Your dreams don't have to be perfect. You just need to begin." If you found this story inspiring, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Shadow English for more powerful lessons and real-life English practice. Until the next video, stay courageous, stay focused, and keep believing in yourself. Thank you for being with us. See you in the next story where new lessons and new hope await.